7 a.m. on my way to work, job I prayed for. So I'm happy to be getting up this early. And so like this morning, I thought about practicing. Okay, so I don't know, things got a lot easier in life for me when I started just thinking about everything that I do as practice. It took a lot of pressure off of me, like going back to school, you know, like I'm like, okay, I don't have to be like really good at it right now because I'm just practicing. I'm just practicing, you know, like chill, like chill on me, chill on myself, you know, I'm just practicing. So if I make a mistake, I'm gonna be okay with it because I know I'm just practicing. And, you know, I started doing that and I noticed that, you know, I started getting better, faster at things that I was practicing at, you know what I mean? And I was like, wow, okay. And also like, you know, I didn't have this pressure, so I was able to like enjoy the little accomplishments better too, that was really cool, you know, like, oh, go me. And then I looked around and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm practicing anymore. Like, I think I'm really doing it. You know, like, especially project management, you know, like that's something that I think I didn't even know I was practicing for a while. You know, I didn't really 100% have a handle on the direction that I was going in. I got my bachelor's degree in engineering in 2015, but I don't like know this is for sure what I want to do. Like I have this whole like I just knew, like everybody told me getting an education was the ticket out, and that's what I thought it was, and it has been for me because the last few positions I've had before this one, although they only required a high school diploma on paper, I know that I got the position because I had this whole bachelor's degree, and they were, you know, they were willing to, if I was willing to work the job, then they were willing to pay me to work the job for what they would have paid probably somebody who does a high school diploma, which was fine. You know, in my last position, I did even though they told me that I wouldn't. I got 2 raises. So, and then when I got the promotion, they're like, that's enough. That's enough. Okay. Too much, right? Sorry. I think that's funny. They were like, no, it's true. It's 100% true too, because listen. Okay. When I was in my first position that I had there for the whole 5 years, right? I went back to school and they had education reimbursement. So I put it in for the education reimbursement and I received it. And then with that, I received my Lean Six Sigma Green Belt and my Project Management Ready certification. And with those 2 things and a couple of other quirky things that happened at that time, this position opened up within the company and I applied for it. And so essentially I got promoted. So this new position, the title, okay, in another video I'll talk about the first title because the first title is ridiculous. And like, you gotta see that one, okay? So the title was project coordinator, right? So not project manager, project coordinator. So I'm like, oh great, you know, like this will give me some more practice. This will be an opportunity for me to practice. Guys, they did not want somebody practicing in that role, okay? They wanted, what they needed and what they wanted was a project manager, okay? So, you know, in the end of the day, nobody's at fault. You know, they obviously, you know, I think that they kind of in their way apologized to me for their goof up of, you know, allowing the position of project coordinator, marketing and customer service. Yeah, if that position sounds made up, it's cause it was. But your girl fell into the trap. And no lie, I was suspicious suspect right from the get-go. Well, that's the job title. Okay. Like I don't do customer service. Okay, but I was like, you know what? I've been in this position as training coordinator requiring only a high school diploma for 5 years now. So I gotta take some step, you know, I gotta do something. I already went back to school. So this position opened up. I have this PMR, so you know what? And like, I even had, you know, some allies within the company come to me and say, you should apply for that. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Well, okay, so, you know, I got the position, and which was great. It was a wonderful moment in my life. And I still am very happy to have that moment, you know, no regrets. So I got the position, and you know, like, this is just like I just finished my first semester in this program that I went back to school. 10 years later, I went back to school, and the program I went for was at Daytona State College. I'm still in the program. The program itself is called the Advanced Technical Certification Program, and I was originally drawn to this program. Like, I found this program because I had been, like I said, in the training coordinator position for 5 years. I hadn't just been sitting around like, okay, you know, I had been actively doing stuff for the whole 5 years, trying to get like some kind of position that at least required an associate's degree. You know, like, I had this whole bachelor's degree that I'm paying like my student loans on still. Like, please make it worth it, you know. So I was out there trying. You know, my boss at the time, great boss, great lady, wonderful mentor. She, you know, was leaning me towards the continuous improvement route, which I was really getting into. And so while at that company, I received, through their training, Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt. And you know, so that was cool. I got to go through that training, and so I kind of realized, like, all right, if she's gonna take me seriously in any kind of promotion, even though I have this bachelor's degree in engineering, which at first I thought, you know, maybe that trumps it, but okay. So I have to, you know, and they expressed that the company couldn't like support providing that kind of training for the staff, because to do it for one person might be like unfair, and do it for a group would be just a little bit expensive. So all right, fair enough, I'll go get it on my own. So going down that rabbit hole is what led me to the Advanced Technical Certification Program. And I'm not gonna just like, you know, tiptoe around things, right? Like, I go to this program, I'm like, oh, this is a whole program. Oh, look at all these certifications I can get. Oh, okay, like, you don't want to look at my bachelor's degree? All right, how about this certification? How about this certification? How about this certification? I'm gonna get all the certifications, all of them. All on my own, collect them like Pokemon. So I already got, like I said, the Lean Six Sigma green belt and the project management ready. Okay, the next my big one I'm working on is your PMP, project management professional. And so that actually requires, like, you don't just go and take a quiz with that. I mean, you do, but you have to like provide like 2,000 credible hours. Like, I'll go over in another video all the things that you need to be able to. So anyway, like, you know, I'm still in this program, and I'm like, all right, well, great. Like, you know, this program makes even more sense now that I'm in this project coordinator position. Clearly, project coordinator means that still learning, right? The practice. They're gonna be so excited to know that I'm taking steps on my own to be better at this. So they're gonna be so happy. They're gonna be thrilled to just pay this like $800 that my tuition is for the semester. Because I already have a house. I don't need like student housing. Like, side note, like, Daytona State College has gotten like so amazing since I went there 10 years ago. Like, I wish I was going there now, you know, 10 years younger. Like, because they got student housing and all that stuff. I used to have to live with my mom, which I love you, Mom. Like, I loved living with my mom. Don't get me wrong, I probably still would have lived with my mom, but it would have been cool to you just had that option. But okay, anyway, so I'm like, great. So I start my new semester, and it was like all online, so I was able to do it nights and weekends. You know, we met remotely. I met with my professor and my classmates all remotely, so it was really convenient with my schedule, so it was working out great. So I start my next semester, and I put in my tuition reimbursement submittal, right? You know, in another video, I'll go over what happened there, like there's more detail, but essentially who it would have gone to would have been like my direct supervisor, but because that person had abruptly left the company, like right after making this erroneous position and my promotion, I know, you want to hear that one. So I didn't have a boss, essentially. I was always solo, you know, I was the Lone Ranger. I was just a wild stallion, just on the range on my own. So they didn't know who to give it to, so they gave it to the president of the company. So had I known it would have gone to him, I probably wouldn't have submitted it to begin with, because I kind of, you know, I had his vibe already checked, you know, like I wouldn't have, he didn't even know the title of the job that I had. So I think when that paperwork hit his desk, it was suddenly like, who the hell's this? Who the hell is this we paid $65,000 a year for? Project coordinator? Marketing and customer service? What the crap role is that? That's bet. That's what he was like. Who hired this guy? Sorry. But oh my gosh. So yeah. That was funny. Yeah, I was there actually when he heard the job title for the first time. It was in the all-employee meeting, so in front of the entire company, you guys. In the entire company. This was when I think I have a video of it somewhere. This is actually when they were announcing my promotion. So this was like gonna be a proud moment for me in my life, right? That's why I was recording it. So it was like, here we go. You know, I've been working 5 years for this. Here we go. And they announce it. And before like an applause can even like sprinkle out, you can hear like gasps from like higher management and the president say, what the is that job title? So
project coordinator, marketing and customer service.
So it was right then that I knew I was But okay, that's a whole nother story, and I hope that you will stick around and hear it, because like I said, I got 2 hours every day to just share it with you. So we're friends now. Be my friend, follow me. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.